Hey guys, it's Frooshy. Yeah, I mean, this video was inevitable. If you guys have been watching my stream, you've been seeing me play basically nothing but Sage. The Striker's kind of on the back burner for right now until I get comfortable with this class, and yeah. But this is the start of the many guide videos I'm going to be making with Sage. This is the Succession skill tree video, and just going to break it down. Honestly, my thoughts on Sage. Sage is a super strong class. His succession is, I say, maybe in like second or third place, definitely in the top 5 right now in the game for both grinding and PvP. In 1v1s it's kind of lackluster, but for large scale PvP this class slaps. And in grinding this is like almost an S tier grinder. I'd say with the prime skills it just got, it might have just hit S tier. But yeah. Typically on Sage you want to be picking up every skill. So that's like 1800 skill points. But I know not everybody has that, and people who want to come on over to the class might also not have that. So I want to break it down into 2 parts. First one is being if you're fresh level 56 and you have like 800 skill points or something. This first part will be for you, and then the later part would just be me specking into everything else and telling you guys what the priority skills are and what the good skills are to be using in your engagements or if you're grinding. And yeah, I won't be releasing an add-on video until they fix the current issue with Sage in the Succession, where the prime skills actually don't have add-ons right now. So that video won't be released until after that comes out. And Awakening videos will also come out when they buff slash bug fix Awakening, so stay tuned for those. But yeah, without further ado, I'm just gonna start off with the early skill tree. Alright, to start we're just gonna go right into it. This is if you're level 56. You just finish your Succession questline or your Awakening one, ideally both, because yeah. But Succession, choose it, right there, look at that. Woo. Nice. Anyways, we're going to pick up our core skills. Our 2 most important skills in Succession kit are Ader's Mark and Spatial Collapse. Right there. Best skills, also low finishing touch. But these 2 skills are the biggest hitters, the biggest AoEs, and overall the ones you're going to be using the most. Especially once you pick up your Rift Chain and your Prime Rift Chain. Those are the 2 skills that are going to do almost everything for you. Prime Rift Chain is a massive skill. The skill is insane. It's the longest iframe in the game. Oh, actually, is it? It's one of the longest iframes in the game, at least. It's one of the best iframes in the game. Like, your iframe this entire time. Let me just go down the stairs. And when you leave it and it's not on cooldown, you get 1 second of super armor. So that's really useful, especially if you decide to use the prime versions of these skills. Because the second you leave your Rift Chain, you have 1 second of super armor, and it covers the gap that both Ader's Mark and Spatial Collapse both have. Because they're only forward guard on the cast, not the actual skill themselves. Unfortunately, it's better to do when you're higher level, but that's something to keep in mind for the future. So right after that, you're going to pick up Form Shift, and you're going to pick up 2 levels of Form Shift Prime. This skill destroys mobs, and it's simple. It's also a 2-part skill, so you can just do that and straight out, right? Or you can just do both parts in one. Does great damage regardless. So Form Shift would be like your next priority skill. It's also pretty good movement as well. Afterwards, we're going to pick up Illusion Expansion. This skill does pretty good damage to mobs, has a decent sized AoE. Like, it has a pretty decent sized AoE, and in Succession, it's much quicker. But you need to get to level 59. So just pick up its flow and be done with it. Ader's Energy is another one that you pick up. I actually locked this skill in Prime, but we can't learn that yet, so whatever. But it's a really good skill, really good AoE, and it has the tier 3 add-on, so you need the skill for grinding. But lock it, hotbar it, do whatever. And now you have your E-buff. Lock this thing and throw it onto your hotbar. This skill is insane. 15 seconds of super armor, no matter what skill you do. Really good critical hit rate and critical hit damage, and plus 30 monster AP, monster magic AP. This e-buff is crazy good. Like, pop this whenever you can while grinding. Like, pop this off cooldown when you're grinding. And due to the passive overdrive in your succession skill tree, every time you hit 10 stacks, which you can do by literally literally just auto attacking, you get stacks passively. It'll lower the cooldown of your e-buff by 5 seconds every 10 stacks, as well as give you a plus 10% casting speed for 10 seconds. So you'll have your e-buff up longer than every other class in the game, especially if you have your reset, which what I like to do is I like to e-buff, reset. Wait for this to be over, e-buff. And then by the time that e-buff is over, I have like a minute or two left, or like a minute left before I can e-buff again, and just rinse and repeat. So you e-buff like crazy. That's pretty huge for grinding. Let's see, anything else? For priority skills, that's like 400 skill points. You want to get your entire passive tree, obviously. Oh, not all that. 1 point into Prime Ancient reset. Into Ancient Wisdom. And 2 points into Skilled Hunter for the monster AP. Let's see. And yeah, that would be... So this would be like bare minimum. Level 56, you can still grind like Polly's Forest, Haws if you really want to. Something like that. You can still grind these areas and farm out the rest of your skill points. But now we get into the juicy bits. Let's say you hit level 61 or 62. If you hit level 61 or 62 and you have like 1500, 1600 skill points, these are the skills that you want to pick up to just get the extra oomph in and get everything that you need. Obviously max out your passives. Get your resets and your 2 prime skills. Mind you, these skills don't have their add-ons yet, so they're kind of good skills, but they're also kind of not. Spear Bolt is a very nice skill that gives you an AP buff. It's also an iframe. And Rift Storm is something that you should also hotbar because the key press for this thing is awkward. I believe I do this on my 3 key, yeah. And then obviously you want to pick up Prime Ader's Energy that I also lock, and I throw it onto my hotbar. Ader's Energy is a very, very nice skill. You can just cancel it and teleport around and get behind the people and just pop it like that. It does really, really good damage when it hits and pops your add-ons, which is even better. You can also do the same thing with your new prime skill. So you just pop it and bam. They do right about the same damage and they're both really, really strong skills. Okay, you want to pick up Ader's Fist. Ader's Fist is huge. You basically just leave Rift, punch, and you just go back into your Rift. It's a KD, good damage. This guy's throwing his stuff at me, cool. And yeah. Spatial Fissure is another priority skill, once you have enough skill points for it. Reason being is that this is a pre-buff skill in most senses. Although if you have your e-buff up and you want to use this for damage, go ahead. It's a great skill. But it's a pre-buff skill because the second you pop it, you get plus 18% accuracy. That's huge. You also want to pick up obviously your entire succession skill tree. There we go. And that's right around the 14. Let's just math this without embarrassing ourselves. So 2093 minus 657. It's like 1400 skill points. So you have like roughly 200, 150-ish more skill points before you hit soft cap. So what can we do? No. No. Okay. Pick up. Yeah, Void Gateways. Void Gateways is a huge skill. Does good damage. Really good damage. This thing slaps, dude. If you watch my PvP montage, I get some pretty good kills with this, as well as this skill floats, has like 100% crit rate, so it's a good CC. I would only ever advise using this behind people, away from people, never near people, and in the safest place you can, because you will get, if you're not protected, you will get CC'd, and if someone notices you, you will get grabbed. This skill is super slow, like that slow, but it hits like a freaking train. You also can't cancel it, so you do that. You basically just like teleport in and cast it, and you're stuck there for like a solid 3 seconds. But it's super worth it if you get it off. For grinding, the skill just hits mobs like from pretty far away. I think the range is like from here all the way to like right here-ish, just right before this fire brazier. So it's really good PvE damage as well. Illusion compression doesn't really, you don't really need this unless you want a 1v1 a lot with the class, which I really wouldn't advise because it's kind of not that great at 1v1s. Anyways, it's a good catch. You can also mouse move it, but yeah. Gravity Rift is actually a okay skill if you want a frontal guard, but you don't really need it. So I just kind of don't spec into it and lock it, whatever. But it is a frontal guard if you so choose to have it. It just doesn't do any damage. And okay, Realm of Anguish. This is actually a pretty decent skill. It's protected on the forward guard cast, and the throw is not protected, but you can obviously mitigate that if you just cancel and throw. The entire thing is protected. I believe it bounds. Does it bound? Or yeah, it bounds on like when it's summoned, which could be a nice little catch CC, and then it just does decent damage all around while also debuffing them. And this is pretty good for grinding as well because you can just throw it down and debuff the mobs as you go. But yeah, you know what? Ader's Thorn. Ader's Thorn is a crazy good skill too. You actually don't need Absolute. The reason why you pick up Ader's Thorn is strictly for the bombs. Now, if you go Revombs, if you want to PvP and or grind, like large scale PvP, and you know how to be safe and you want to just throw good damage in there, Energized Thorn is the play. You want to 1v1 more, or you want to just have an extra CC on you that KDs, Piercing Thorn is the play. None of these Revombs are protected, so use them at your own risk. But Piercing Thorn is a good skill simply because you can no, I don't want to join your guild. What? Anyways. You can just you can precast it, teleport, and yeet a KD spear. And if I hit somebody, it'll pierce to them and KD them and someone behind them. It's pretty good skill. For your other Rebomb, this one depends on what you want really. So you have Ader's Illusions is a very quick stun. It's stupid quick actually. Let me show you. You just kind of can rift and then stun and then rift out, and if you can land it properly, it's a good catch. If not, then not. But the one I like to use while grinding at least is Ader's Palm. Ader's Palm is a much slower skill, has okay damage since it has no crit modifier, but minus TP on mob on anybody, and HP recovery, which is nice for Sage. So that's how slow it is. Not a bad skill. It has decent-ish range, decent-ish damage. Not a super high priority, but if you guys want to choose that over this one, you definitely have the option. Oh, also, Energized Thorn is a very good like a very good pulling skill. You can always like go pack to pack and chuck a spear and then pull that pack to wherever else you want to go, and it does good damage. And yeah, okay, I believe that is all. If you guys really want to learn Automagia, go learn it. Do know if you do use Automagia, it's not that great of a skill. Use it sparingly. It has a very good radius for its bound. Yeah, for its bound. So like, it depends on where your camera's angled, but for example, I could probably bound, if this was a player, I could probably bound them right here. But what you want to do realistically with this skill is pop it off cooldown and just lightly tap your right mouse button and it'll just go right off the bat. If you hold your right mouse button, the skill holds and doesn't do any extra damage. You're just basically getting yourself killed. Don't do it. Yeah. Besides that, that's actually all you really need on Sage. I'll cover the add-ons in a later video, as well as a potential grinding rotation / PvP rotation that I like to use. But overall, hopefully this video helped you guys out a little bit. If you had any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. I'm still learning this class the same way everybody else is, but whatever I know, I'm more than happy to share. And yeah, I've been really enjoying this class, so expect more guides in the future. Its succession is cracked. Also expect more montages. I'm gonna try to mix in a little bit of awakening with the succession kills, because I mean, succession is awakening is super cool. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, sub, do that kind of stuff. I don't know. And yeah, come check me out on Twitch. I'm live. Honestly, I've been live every single day at this point, but I'm live typically every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And yeah, if you have any questions, if you want to come in and chill, just come on in and say hi. Links will be down below in the description. But yeah, bye bye.